tanahku, hiduplah negeriku, bangsa semuanya, bangunlah jiwanya, bangunlah badannya, untuk Indonesia Raya.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to briefly present today's rundown for the guest lecture 2026, an update from Tectonic of Sumatra. The first agenda is opening by MC. The second is welcoming remarks, will then be delivered by the head of the Research Center of Geological Resources. Entering the main session, today's lecture will be moderated by Dr. Muhammad Zain Tuakia. And then the presentation from the speakers. And after the presentation, we will proceed with a discussion and question and answer session before officially closing the event at 11 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the rundown for today's program. Next, we would like to invite the head of Research Center for Geological Resources, Dr. Engineering Iwan Setiawan, to deliver the welcoming remarks. To Dr. Iwan Setiawan, the floor is yours.
Oke. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Distinguished Professor, Professor Lin Wei, Professor Sang, Dr. Meng Ndeng from Institute of Geology and Geophysics. I'm very happy to welcoming you today. I also appreciate to Digdaya committee members, our research coordinator from Research Center for Geological Resources, BRIN researchers, and all enthusiastic participants joining us today from the various institutions. Today we will have a discussion on the result or update on Tectonic of Sumatra. We, the Research Center for Geological Resources, in collaboration with the Institute of Geology and Geophysics, Chinese Academy of Science, have been conducting research in Sumatra since last year, 2025, along the island of Sumatra. As we know that Sumatra has always been a geological interest for many geologists in Indonesia and also in the world. Yeah. Sumatra has a major Great Sumatran Fault Zone that align with the Bukit Barisan Mountain, and we also have a mysterious Medial Sumatra Tectonic Zone. Is the MSTZ axis or not? This is one of our discussion today. Yeah. And we know that Sumatra also hosted or hosts of various mineral deposits. We have copper porphyry, we have epithermal low and high sulfidation system. Yeah, we have gold and silver deposit in western flank of Bukit Barisan, while coal, oil, and gas are mainly distributed in the east of Sumatra. What regime is responsible for this distribution of mineral and oil and gas? This is another discussion, not for today, but this is also the problem in Sumatra. Today, we are going to discuss the result of preliminary result of our fieldwork in Sumatra related to the tectonic framework of Sumatra and its significance for the Tethys evolution, the formation age, and tectonic implication of the Sumatra axonary complex, and in situ rubidium-strontium dating from the biotite in Nesis from the MSTZ or medial Sumatra tectonic zone and its significance. Once again, I would like to thank my colleagues, Professor Lin Wei and the team from Institute of Geology and Geophysics, Chinese Academy of Science. I know you are really tired after the fieldwork. You spare your time to visit to Indonesia, to visit my office. It's really honorable to us. I really thank for that. I encourage everyone, all participants, to actively participate, ask questions, and take full advantage for this networking opportunities in our virtual space. Without any further speak, I would like to ask blessing from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. I officially declare this webinar open with Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I wish everyone, you all, have an insightful, inspiring, and productive session. Terima kasih, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Iwan Setiawan, for the inspiring remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed with an online group photo session. Kindly turn on your cameras in your laptop and give your best smile for the screenshot. And I'll be the guide of the photo session. We have 5 pages. First page. 1, 2, 3. Second page. And 1, 2, 3. The third. 1, 2, 3. The fourth. 1, 2, 3. And the last is 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now we will do the next session. We are now entering the main session of today's guest lecture. This session will be moderated by Dr. Muhammad Zain Tuakia. Please welcome Dr. Muhammad Zain Tuakia to lead this session.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Nurvia, to letting me to guide this session. My name is Muhammad Zain Tuakia. I will be your moderator for this guest lecture. So today guest lecture entitled An Update from Tectonic of Sumatra will be, we will have 3 speakers. The first speaker will be Prof. Lin Wei, and then the second will be Dr. Meng Ling Tong, and the last speaker will be Mr. Deng Ye. So the time is about 20 minutes for each of you, and the discussion will be put it in the end of the presentation of all of you. Okay. So first of all, I would like to introduce Prof. Lin Wei. So, okay. Now he is the professor in Institute of Geology and Geophysics, China's Academy of Sciences. He obtained his doctor from Orleans University, Department of Earth Sciences, and for his master, he obtained from Nanjing University in the same department, Department of Earth Sciences. He published several publications, mostly focused on structural geology. He obtained some award and honor from French Ministry and some from Chinese Academy of Sciences is in 2014. So, Prof. Lin, if you are ready, you can start the presentation. Okay, thank you very much.
This result comes from the group. Our group visit BRIN, and the right picture is from with Ivan and our group working at the near the Archie. Next, please. And here is the cooperation, the photo of the cooperation and the presentation of our primary work. And the next, please. And here we have under the organization of Professor Ivan, we have a chance to present our work in University of Archie. Next, please. And here is the photo of this year. The middle one is the beginning of the mission. We have 4 Indonesian colleagues working with us together. Here I would like especially express my thanks to Ivan, to Zen and Lahman and Ariel, all of my Indonesian colleagues. Next, please. And here is the Sumatra. This is from the Barber, the structure climb of the Sumatra. I think all of you have already know it. The tectonic unit can be separated into the East Sumatra, West Sumatra, Voila group or Voila naip or accretional waves, because accretional waves should be presented by Dr. Meng. I just concentrated on another 3 units. Of course, the East Sumatra, according to the prior work, is affinity with the Submasu. Submasu, CSI is meaning Siam, BU is meaning Burma, now is Myanmar, and Ma is Malaya, Sumatra. So they belong to the a block at the very affinity to the Kawana. And West Sumatra is in the southwest of the Sumatra Island, is Indochina affinity with a view of the paleontology. And the Voila group was interpreted as an intra-oceanic arc with the age of the late Jurassic to early Cretaceous. And of course, there are two significant tectonic zones. One is MSTZ. The waste was considered belong to the plate boundary between the East and the West Sumatra, meet together at the late Triassic, is meaning Paleotethys. But we never find some evidence of the future zone. So this was interpreted as a strict slip fault of the late Triassic. And the right line is the strict slip fault zone is showing the transverse heterogeneity of the subduction of Indian Ocean. And the right one, the Sumatra Strait threefold, so I think is working, should be working on the group of the Chuyang. Next, please. And very important line is the MSTZ is Media Sumatra Tectonic Zone. Generally, in the book of the Barber and the paper of them, they said that it is melanite, gneiss, and schist, and its dextro-strict slip shear zone, and make the West Sumatra slip from the Indonesia into China block for at least 1,700 kilometers to its current location, and so this is interpreted the difference between the East and the West Sumatra from view of the paleontology, and involve the tectonic evolution related, perhaps Paleo, Meso, and Neothetis. It was intruded by the late Triassic granite. So this is the reason they think all the tectonic zone is before the late Triassic. But there is no ophiolite was found along this belt, and it is now a suture zone. Next, please. So during these 3 years, in fact, what I presented is for 2 years. We have some progress in research for the structural geology. And the next, please. And this point, there is a small point, is the location of our group of these 2 years, not included this year. And here I will present the ABC cross-section located at the central and the northern part of the Sumatra Island. Next, please. And here is a cross-section. So I say it the tectonic unit and the related kinematic. I say it directly the result. So on counting this 3 years work, we think all the unit is have a that was considered the basement of the Sumatra, with the age of the strata age of the Carboniferous to Permian, but it already metamorphosed. It metamorphic weakly over different facies metamorphism rocks. But from the view of the deformation, all these units have a northeast, southwest mineral and stretching lineation. The kinematic is quite simple. It's top to the northeast. And with the age of the late Cretaceous, it's not the age of the late Triassic. It's late Cretaceous. I will say it presented lately. And the Walla group is located on this Cretaceous and the Permian metasedimentary rock. It is meaning geometrically the upper part, and exploited top to the lineation direction is same, but the kinematic is top to the southwest. Age is unknown. And the third is Oligocene and the subsequent strata exhibit 4-arc sedimentary capture document a clear extension deformation related the listic fault at the north margin of this 4-arc basin. Because the 3 is just the brittle deformation control the basin, perhaps it related gas and oil field. But I would like presented my presentation concentrated on the first and the second. Next, please. And here I will present it briefly and simply the deformation in the West Sumatra that I have already side before. It's from the view of the foliation is southwest dipping with the top to the northeast sharing. We call it D1 or major deformation. no matter the field, in the photo, you can find the lineation was indicated by the mineral and the continued cleavage sigmoid in the sedimentary rock, and in the thin section we can find some shearing deformation, sigmoid, and the shear band. So this is the West Sumatra. And the next, please. And here is the East Sumatra. East Sumatra is quite similar. The lineation is same. The kinematic or shearing deformation is same, top to the north. This is D1 also. Of course, we can find the continued cleavage and spaced cleavage just under the surface. It's mainly from southwest, just from West Sumatra and East Sumatra. From the south to north, the deformation, tectonic level of the deformation tend to shower, tend to zero. Next, please. This is very interesting result from the last year. We work with Jen together, and it's really touch the MSTZ, but this is not what I'm thinking. Because before the people side, this is strict slip forward. Strict slip forward, we need the foliation nearly vertical, and the lineation is horizontal. But in the field, what we can find, the foliation is not vertical, is more or less gentle. Low angle or moderate angle. But the lineation is northeast southwest, almost perpendicular. If this fault or this joint is strict slip, the mineral and stretching lineation is almost perpendicular with the tectonic line. So this is the thinking. What I'm thinking discussion in the field. MSTZ is not strict, just at the outcrop, or even what we have observed is not related to the strict slip, is well comparable with the deformation of the East and the West Sumatra. It's meaning with the lineation top to the north, with the lineation northeast, southwest, and the top kinematic is top to the northeast. Okay, next, please. And this is the primary result of the Rubidium-strontium. We have 4 samples. All this sample gave the late Cretaceous. At the right, it is not scientifically working. I put all the result point over here. I just want concentrated or more precise the age of the deformation. They gave the 82.5 million years. So this is meaning all this top to the northeast of the deformation, the time of D1 is late Cretaceous instead of the late Triassic. So next, please. And so this is the reason at the beginning is quite make me puzzle, because this top to the northeast shearing is not only in the basement. It's meaning Carboniferous and the Cretaceous metasedimentary rocks, but also we find it in the late Triassic, so-called sedimentary cover. And this year we even find this in some Jurassic or early Jurassic to early Cretaceous, some sedimentary rocks. So this photo indicated unmetamorphosed later Triassic shell have recorded the same D1 deformation, but with the zero tectonic level. So this is the region, I think the field observation corresponding our geochronal result very well. Okay, next, please. So even the contact between the Voila and West Sumatra, this is outcrop with last year with event we observed together. We can find the contact is ductile and between the ductile and the brittle. This domain, the deformation indicated top to the northeast sharing also. So it is from the view of the field, it is better to interpret it. It is because the D1 make the Voila group thrust on the I use the word not so precise thrust, or this is thrust always meaning the older rock on the younger rock, but this thrust is younger rock on the older rock, but they belong to the different tectonic unit. So it's interpreted, it's better the Voila thrust on the West Sumatra make all this D1 deformation. Okay, next please. And in the Voila group, brittle and ductile deformation was indicated by the top to the southwest sharing. I have knowledge about this deformation because all the field is weathering, and I cannot find pick some mineral for dating. Even the metamorphism facies is zero. Is lower. Okay, so this is the reason we call it perhaps it's earlier than D1, it's meaning D0, or is late or at the same time of the D1. I call it D1 prime. Okay, next please. So this is the photo in of the deformation top to the southwest sharing. No matter in the field, we can find the lineation and some in the hand sample scale. We find the kinematic in the thin section also. So in the Voila group, there are some tectonic events with the top to the southwest sharing. Okay, next please. So the D3 deformation, I think is not quite important. It's just the extension for arc basin with the high angle deeping for sharing, deeping fold sharing to the south. Okay, next please. So conclusion primary in the structure and the kinematic. Top to the northeast sharing deformation was marked by the major tectonic events of the Sumatra. It was the major tectonic or most important tectonic events of Sumatra Island with the age of 82 million years. MSTZ was not a plate boundary of the east and the west Sumatra. It was an intensive deformation zone of the late Cretaceous. The geochronology result indicated that this proved or indicated this conclusion. Top to the southwest sharing deformation was only observed in the Voila group. We can interpret it perhaps it is D0. It's thin subduction thrust like Himalaya, or the D1 prime. It is back thrust of the D1. In fact, the D1 prime is the thrust, is back thrust, and the D1 is the counterpart of the back thrust. Okay, I just presented now it's easily to be understand. Okay, next please. And the second progressive is the detrital zigzag. And here is the result from the Zhong Sunlin's group, Xiaoran Zhang, and Xin Qian's group from the Sun Yat-sen University of Guangzhou. So, and our result also, there are some east-west Sumatra and MSTZ and the Voila. The Voila group have a significant Precambrian detrital zigzag. You will find it at the the next figure it is, but we can find still there are so many Precambrian digital zinc, not only the Mesozoic and the Cenozoic, and then it is to interpret as an intra-oceanic arc is open to discuss. And the unit from the east, west, and MSTZ, these three figures, we will find this unit, the result is well matched. The spectrum just a little different is 350 million years in the MSTZ is distinct. And but in fact, we can find a small peak in the West Sumatra also. So from this result, we will find East and West Sumatra included. The MSTZ is overall consistent, especially MSTZ is quite similar with the West Sumatra. Okay, next please. So this is the result of the Phanerozoic between younger than 400 million years. I would like, because if it is belong to the there is a Paleotethys, they separated should be 380 million years. So this is the reason I chose 400 million years to know this four tectonic unit from the view of the detrital zinc. Now from this result, we can find East West Sumatra, MSTZ and Woyla are highly comparable. Woyla group was a continental arc. It's too similar. It's really an independent intra-oceanic arc. So its meaning for me, I prefer it is belong to the continental arc. Okay, next please. So this is a more general discussion from the paleogeography. From the view of the detrital zinc, the Sumatra is highly comparable with North Lhasa, South Lhasa, West Australia, and Western Myanmar, and Sumatera. This is meaning looks like a part of the Gondwana. And the Woyla was certain correlation with the South Lhasa, Myanmar, and Sumatra. It's I prefer it is active margin of the Sunda continent. Or like previous, this is intra-oceanic arc of the Nagaro oceanic plate, Argoland in the south of the Tibet, or Kyrgyzstan arc, comparable at the Pakistan. And or if this is not continental active margin, minimum it is independent microblock, microblock, or a small continent with the basement of the continental in the ocean. Okay, next please. So this is the conclusion is more or less the model of the subduction and make it really thrust. This here we can we put the West Sumatra as same form. And the conclusion is East West Sumatra, MSTZ, and the Woyla group from the integral east unit, the boundary, there is the same deformation of the major deformation of the D1. Number D, and then the age of the D1, I repeated, is 82 million years, corresponding the Woyla nape located or to the position of the Woyla nape, with the control of the structure and the entire Sumatra island. The similarity of the detrital zinc and the function of the MSTZ has led us to recognize the division of the East and West Sumatra into plates using the cold water, and the hot water is questionable. Okay, that's all. Thanks very much. Okay.
Thank you, Prof. Lin, for your update and very insightful presentation. So, as I cannot hear, so yes, MSTZ is not exist. I mean, it's not strictly fault, as Barbara mentioned in his paper, right? Okay, because the different kinematic that you found in the field and etc. Okay, and the boiler is continental arc maybe. Okay, and so the from the rubidium and strontium age dating in MSTZ, so it's related to D1, late Cretaceous. So all the kinematic in the Sumatra Island until now is sitting top to northeast. So
Except the boiler.
the southwest.
Yeah, to the southwest.
Southwest, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Prof. Lin, for your insightful presentation. So we will keep the question actually in the end of all the presenters.
Okay.
So now we are moving to the second presenter, Dr. Meng. Okay, but first of all, I would like to introduce yourself. So now here with us, Dr. Ling Tong Meng. He is the postdoctoral associate professor in Institute of Geology and Geophysics, China's Academy of Sciences. He graduated from the same institute with major in structural geology, and he obtained his master degree from same also institute. Yes, in 2013. He published several publications, mostly in major in structural geology, some in a geology journal, I think. And okay, sorry. So that's all from him. So if you're ready, you can start the presentation. Okay, you can start.
Okay.
Okay.
Start.
So your time is 20 minutes, Sam.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Lin Tongmeng from IGG-CAS, and very thankful to Ivan and Zhayin's invitation, and let me have a great chance to introduce the Sumatra accretional complex. Please next. And this is my underlines. And please next. Please next. Please next. Okay. Okay. This is my outlines. Please next. As we know, the represented by the Sumatra, the Southeast Asian record the long-lived oceanic subduction, including the Paleothesis, Mesothesis, Neothesis, and even to the India Ocean subduction. So we think the Sumatra is a key area to understanding the ocean subduction as well as the ocean continental interactions. Please next. And for Sumatra, the famous tectonic models are proposed by Barber And as introduced by Professor Lin, they divided the Sumatra into East Sumatra, West Sumatra, which are separated by MSTZ. And also they considered the Walla group as the Jurassic to Cretaceous oceanic arc. And in the region of the outer arc, near close to the subduction zone, like the Nias and the Simulu Island, it considered the accretional complex. Based on this, Barber proposed the tectonic evolution of the Tethys. Please next. And from the view of the magmatism, there are several models related to the Tethys evolution were proposed, such as Paleotethys, Mesotethys to Neotethys, and to understand the tectonic framework between 290 MA to 50 MA. And also, we have to our group also do the structure geology, structure analysis in Sumatra, related to the Tethys evolution. I think we will have some new models related to the Tethys evolution in the Sumatra, as introduced by Professor Lim. Please next. And I major focus mainly focus on the sono. Zhang Yin, please move the black one. Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, okay, thank you. And I mainly focused on the Cenozoic subduction of the Indian Ocean, and this is also a topic of our project. In this map, we can see the subduction direction of the Indian plate is oblique to the subduction rule. So Sumatra as the overriding plate of the subduction of India plate also provide good place to understand the oblique tectonic response of the oblique subduction system. And as we know, during the oblique subduction, in its overriding plate, it's also generally formed the strike slip deformation, as well as in the Sumatra. Please next. In the Sumatra, the major strike slip deformation is the Sumatra fault, and we can say it is a large scale right lateral striking slip fault. And recent dating work revealed the Sumatra fault formed at 2 MA. So it raises a question about how did the outer arc region, which is close to the trench, respond to the strike slip deformation, and then how to respond to the oblique subduction of the Indian Ocean. And this is my question. Please next. So we choose the Nias and the Simulu accretional complex, which is more close to the subduction rule, and we think they may record the early stage of oblique oceanic subduction evolution. So if we want to know answer this question, we need to know the deformations of the accretional complex. Such as how about its geometric kinematics and the deformation timing. Please next. In fact, there are two models, two province models to talk about the formation of Sumatra accretional complex. One is the Carrick model, They think in NIAS and Simulu, they think the NIAS and Simulu are typical accretional range and record the southwest directed. That means oceanward thrusting, and then it is the northeast directed. That means continentalward back thrusting. And the second model is very different. They think in Simulu and NIAS, the sedimentary rocks formed in the Four-Arc Basin, which is controlled by southwest directed normal faults, and during which the ophiolitic melange in place at the disappearance with the mud volcanoes. Please next. And then Barber integrated these two models. In this figure, we can see during the early Miocene, they think the accretional complex formed during the oceanic subduction and related to the oceanward thrusting. And when after Little Miocene, there are two possibilities. First is the uplifting of the accretional complex related to back thrusting. And the second possibility is the extension caused the Four-Arc Basin formed, and during which the melange in place as a disappearance. Although the Barber proposed an evolutionary model, but they have no detailed agent to concentrate every stage. Please next. So last year we also carry out the detailed structure analysis in NIAS Island and Simulu Island. In NIAS Island, we found there are two units. First is the Miocene Four-Arc Basin strata. It is the interbedded sandstone mudstone which formed in a deep water environment. And the second one is the melange, which is shows the block in matrix structures. In these two pictures, we can see in the field the strongly shelled mudstone and serpentinite as the matrix, and the limestone and mafic volcanic rocks as the blocks inside. Please next. Our structure analysis through the NIAS Island involved in a northeast directed thrusting, and we can see in this process both the gray one, purple one, and blue one are Miocene strata. All of them are involved in the deformation and form the open folds. And both the bedding and cleavage show the northeast-southwest contraction. Meanwhile, we also can see the dark purple one. It is the melange, which is thrust over the folded Miocene strata. Please next. And I would like to show some details in these structures. In the field, we can see the asymmetric folds and overturned strata. All of them are indicated the northeast direct thrusting. Please next. And we also can observe the north-directed reserve faults. Please next. And in this location, we also can see the strongly shelled the melange are at the top of the strata. As shown in the profile, we can see the melange thrust over the folded strata, the Miocene strata. Okay, next one. And within the melange, we also can see the melange are strongly sharing and show a top to the northeast kinematics. Because all of the Miocene strata are folded, so we think this deformation is younger than Miocene. And also this structure are covered by the quaternary deposits. So we think this deformation formed before 5 MA. Next. We also do same work in Simulu Island, and in Simulu Island, they also compose the two units. One is the Miocene 4 arc basin strata, and others is the ophiolitic melange. We can see the gabbro and mafic rocks as the blocks in the intensively shared serpentinite. And Provence works show the gabbro and mafic rocks are formed at the using is about 40 to 75 MA, but we have some new ages. It is very different. Next one. Our structural analysis also show the similar island recorded the northeast southwest compression, and we also can see that the Miocene strata from the open folds. We also can see the ophiolitic. The dark purple one is thrust over the folded strata. And so both the NIAS and Simulu recorded the northeast southwest contraction, but they have different kinematics. In NIAS, it is northeast directed thrusting, but in Simulu, it is southwest direct thrusting. Please next one. In the field, we can see the gabbro, paleoglass granite, and the blocks in serpentinite show the top two southwest kinematics. Please next one. We also do some uranium-lead dating for these mafic rocks, because we know the mafic rocks have a lot of captured or inherited zircons. So we would like to use the youngest zircon age to represent for the formation age. So we can see the first one, the youngest age is 155 MA, and the second one is 95 MA. And one sample we got the concordant age, it is about 75 MA. So we think the ages of the mafic block is Cretaceous is about 150 to 75 MA, not the Miocene previously considered. Please next one. Meanwhile, because the matrix of the melange is composed of the macedon sandstone, so it provides a chance to analyze the detrital zircons. This is our result, and we can find the youngest zircon peak is about 50 MA, and we think it represents the main formation age of the melange. And we also find only two youngest zircon in this matrix. So we think because the melange is involved in deformation, so we think that the deformation occurred after this time. We also compare the matrix of the melange with the magmatism in the Sumatra, and we think the matrix of the melange are mainly sourced from the volcanic arc at about 50 MA. And these samples also have a lot of inherited zircons. I think they from the basement of the overriding plate. But if we want to tell a complete story, we need more data, including the mafic rocks and the matrix of the melange. Please next one. As introduced by Professor Lin, the four arc basin is controlled by the southwest deep normal faults in the Sumatra, and the Provence studies show this sedimentary rocks formed at about 10 MA. Because in Sumatra, in Simulu and NIAS, these rocks are also involved in the fold and deformed. So we think the deformation time, the deformation age should be after 10 MA. Please next. So based on this work, we proposed the evolutionary model. And we think in NIAS and Simulu that it is composed of two-layer structure. The upper part is the four-arc basin, and the lower part is the melange. And we think the mafic blocks formed at the Cretaceous, but we don't know how about its geological siting, MORB or SSZ. We need more work. And then at the Eocene to Oligocene, we think the melange formed due to the oceanic subduction. At Miocene, the four-arc basin formed at extensional siting. Finally, at the 10 to 5 MA, the melange thrusted over to the four-arc basin. In NIAS, the kinematic is northeast directed thrusting, while in Simulu it is south directed thrusting. Next. So next we want to talk about the deformation, the relationship between the deformation and the oblique subduction process. As we know, in the region of the outer arc, there is a famous fault named the Mentawai fault. It is a right lateral strike slip fault, and it formed the positive flower structures. That means in the north side of the Mentawai fault, it is the northeast direct thrust, and in its southwest side, it is the southwest directed thrusting. This is very much with the deformations we observed in NIAS and Simulu Island. Please next. So we think the thrusting in NIAS and Simulu Island is related to the positive flower structures related to the Mentawai structure slip fault, which is resulted from the oblique subduction of the Indian Ocean. And because the deformation time is about 10 to 5 MA, so we think the tectonic response of the overriding plate has started at least about 10 MA. Please next. Finally, this is my conclusions, and we think the NIAS and Simulu Island is composed of two parts. The upper part is the four-arc basin, and the lower part is the operational complex. This model is very different from the traditional understanding of a single operational range structure. And we think the mafic blocks in the operational in the melange is formed at Cretaceous, and the matrix mainly formed at 50 MA, and its source mainly from the arc magmatism in the overriding plate. Thirdly, the NIAS and Simulu Island, the deformation is related to positive flower structures related to the Mentawai strike slip 14 at 10 to 5 MA. Finally, we think the tectonic response of the oblique subduction system in Sumatra was started at least around 10 to 5 MA. Please next. That's all. Thanks for your attention, and we also very thankful for Ivan and Jain for organizing the field trip for us, and we also thank Jain, Ariel, Lahman, Lady, Rida, and Tofik the help in the field and let us experience a great experience in Sumatra Island. Thank you very much. That's all.
So thank you, Dr. Mem, for your update, mostly in the NIAS and Simulu Island. So I just repeat your conclusion actually.
Okay, thank you.
So this NIAS and Simulu, it's not it's different from the traditional accretionary complex, because as we know, the accretionary complex mostly the melange, I think. And the tectonic response of the oblique subduction was started at least around 10 to 5 million age. Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Meng. We will keep the question for you in the end of the presentation. So now we are moving to the last presenter. We have Mr. Denge. Actually, he is a master student under Prof. Lin supervisor. now he is master student in Institute of Geology and Geophysics, Chinese Academy of Sciences. So this is the second time for him to join us, to join this fieldwork actually, and I hope he got a lot of idea for his study. So he will present with title in situ bited rubidium-strontium dating of gneiss from the MSTZ and its tectonic significance. So for Mr. Denye, you can start the presentation. The time is 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Dan. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Deng Ye, and from the IGG-CAS. Today, I'm very honored to have a presentation, and the title is "In-situ Biota RBSR Dating of Gneiss from the MSTZ and its Tectonic Significance." And next page. Thank you. And this is my outline of my next page. Thank you. Sumatra is located in crucial tectonic area in the eastern part of the Tethys tectonic domain, and as the key convergence zone of the Indo-Australia and Eurasia plate. It's composed of several key geological units, include the East Sumatra block. Was seen as is part of the Sumatra block, West Sumatra block, and the Wana Nap. As the introduction, as the previous introduction by Professor Ning, and there are two major tectonic lines. The well-known Sumatra Fault Zone is a 1,900 kilometer dextrose strike slip fault associated with the oblique subduction of the Indian Ocean, and the medial Sumatra tectonic zone, what is the object study of me. So next page. Let's start by introducing the two-part model of Sumatra and the origin of the MSTZ. The two-part model of East and West Sumatra is based on the paleo-environment interpretation of fossil in the earlier Carboniferous Alice and Quantum limestone formation. In East Sumatra, it shows cold or warm water deposition of the Alice formation, and in West Sumatra, it shows tropical flora and fauna indicate in warm environment. Barber thinks that since the Alice and the quantum formation are contemporary shows, they must have been deposited in different environments on separate planets, and were only being brought together in Sumatra by post-Carboniferous. So, in next page. Based on the difference in paleo environment, West Sumatra is considered to be part of the Indochina block or Caucasia block, while East Sumatra is part of Submasu. A model by Hutchison in 1994 proposed that West Sumatra was transported to its current location by large-scale strike slip movement along the MSTZ. As an important boundary of two planets, the origin of the MSTZ wasn't defined based on observations in structural geology. Instead, it was demarcated to explain the difference in paleontology and paleo-environment. However, this mode lack of structure and crucially chronological evidence. This leads us to the core question of our study: what are the actual deformation characterized and the timing of the deformation? Okay, next page, please. So to solve this problem, we use two main methods. First, we did a detailed structure analysis of the rock to understand the ductile deformation. Second, we applied isotope chronology to figure out when the deformation events took place. Especially, we used RBSR dating on biotite and muscovite. This dating method is sensitive to the temperature around 300 to 500 degrees, and this temperature range is consistent with that of the rock when ductile deformation occurs. In next page, thank you. Our primary dating method was in-situ RBSR dating using LASCP mass system. Unlike conventional RBSR dating, which requires whole rock sample and a closure system, this in-situ technique allows us to analyze individual mineral grains or even different zones within a single grain. Although its preciously is generally lower than argon dating, but its speed and spatial resolution make it a powerful tool for quickly identifying the timing of deformation, especially in mica-rich rocks. Next page. Okay, the first research progress is that we are determining the outcropping area of the MSTZ. Unlike the area marked in Barber's diagram, unlike the Barber's map, the area around the Takingon and the southeast part of Pekanbaru do not have strongly deformed rock. Instead, there are some undeformed cover state rock and weak deformed rock. Next page. And even in the topical outcropping area of the MSTZ from Blancjaran to Sidi Halang, the outcropping range of stronger deformation rock is rather limited. A rock with strong strength showing foliation and lamination can only be found in a very narrow area along the boundary between West Sumatra and the East Sumatra block. We divided the strong strand zone in the region. The rock of the Alas formation always form the strong zone didn't show obvious metamorphic deformations. The next page. And the second research progress is about the tectonic manifestation of the MSTZ. On a huge scale, we plotted the foliation data observed in the field and found that the MSTZ, as well as the West Sumatra block and the East Sumatra block, all show a northeast and southwest direction, many dipping towards to the southwest. This kind of tectonic geometry is quite different from that caused by strict slip deformation. And the next page. And the further evidence comes from microstructure analysis. The macro photo on the right shows the rock fabrics within the MSTZ. The deformation of the MSTZ show a northeast and southwestern mineral strength lamination. Kinematic indicate top to the northeast sharing can be seen both in hand specimen and under the microscope. All of it above indicate that the MSTZ is not strongly strand zone formed by strict slip, but more like one formed by thorough snap. Next page. And for the geochronologic results, we obtained several reliable age from our samples. 2 samples of garnet bearing gneiss yield age of approximate 76 to 84 million years, respectively, place the deformation in the late Cretaceous. One sample, a melanized meta sandstone, gave a much younger age of about about 37 million years in the Eocene. Next page. Thank you. Oh, of course, not all sample yield useful data. Some mica schist sample product age with large uncertainties or fail to form a meaningful isochron. We interpret this as being due to post-crystallization alterate of the mica, which caused the loss of the RB, a Cretaceous element for the RB-SR system. This highlights the importance of selection where prevent sample for these dating methods. Okay, next page. Of course, all the age show that the deformation age of the MSTZ is not P3 to T1, but Cretaceous to the Miocene. So next page, please. Combining the deformation characterized of rock in the MSTZ and the preliminary RB-SR dating results, we suggest that the formation of the MSTZ is more likely related to the emplacement of the Warla lab in the Cretaceous. When the Warla lab was emplaced, the northeast direction constraints thrust the West Sumatra block over the East Sumatra block, forming a strong strain zone at the boundary. So next. So we have a conclusion. The MSTZ don't respond a P3 to T1 strict slip even, but it's more likely a upper crust northeast direction thrust nap that's occurring during the Cretaceous. The MSTZ experienced multiple fails of deformation. The RB-SR age of 76 to 83 may be related to the emplacement of the Warla group, and the age of 36 million years indicate a later process of deformation, but we have not found the geology. To the next point. To summarize our conclusion, and we need further work. First, we should find the suitable interpretation for the youngest age obtained from the Mennonites. And two, we use methods such as we should use more technique such as quartz CX fabric analysis and quartz tie symmetry to constrain the PT conduction of the deformation events. And the third, we should perform RBSR and UPB dating on sample from the Warla group to further analyze the relationship among the Warla, MSTZ, and East Sumatra and West Sumatra. That's the next one. So thank you for your attention. This is my own presentation.
So thank you, Mr. Deng, for your insightful presentation. So you just emphasize the MSTZ again to argue the from the barber view. So MSTZ, it's not Strix's fault, but it is the trust related to emplacement of the wayland knife in the Cretaceous age to the reactivation. So for the younger deformation, I think something like that. So thank you for all the presenter for your insightful presentation. So now we are moving to the discussion. For those who want to ask the question, you can ask directly. Just raise your hand, and we will let you ask direct to your question to the presenter. Maybe first of all, I would like to invite audience in this room. If you have questions, you can ask to the presenter directly while we are waiting for the question from the audience in the Zoom meeting. Oh, okay. Okay, so yes, we have first question from Mr. Ade Suryaputra. If you want, you can ask directly, Mr. Ade. Just open your mic and you can ask. Or I can read your question. Okay, so from Mr. Ade, thank you for the insightful presentation, Prof. Linwei. My name is Ade. I am interested in MSTZ kinematics, where D1 deformation locally in the Weyler group. Could the southwest directed shear represent a D1 backthrust related to regional shortening rather than a preserved D0 sin subduction thrust? And then the second one is, could this also be related to the Langsa thrust system along the northeastern margin and the proposed Mergui microplate by Barber and Crow 2005, who suggested that an oceanic or arc-related block north of Sumatra may have interacted with Sumatra during late Cretaceous Cenozoic tectonic? You got the question? Sorry. Okay, Mr. Ade, if you want.
Sorry,
On your mic.
sorry, but my connection is not stable. But maybe I will try to talk. Can you hear my sound?
Okay, you want to.
Yeah, but my connection or the PRSDG connection is not stable. I think the Zoom is not, the Zoom connection is not stable. Sorry. So maybe you can hear
Your
my
voice?
Can you hear my voice?
Yes, but yeah, you can increase.
Okay. So I read from the paper of Muxin in 2023. So in the paper, he said that there is the Langsa Fault in the northern east of the Sumatra that also connected with the Mergui microplate that proposed by Barber and Crow in 2005. So related to your presentation about the kinematics of MSTZ, so I want to ask about where the D1 deformation is dominated by top to the northeast shearing, while top to the southwest shearing is only observed locally in the Woyla group. So if we connect it to the Langsa thrust system and also the Mergui microplate, could the SW directed shear represent the D1 upstairs back thrust related to regional shortening rather than a preserved D0 sin subduction thrust? Maybe that's my question.
So, Prof. Lin, you got the question?
And it's a very good question. And so what I think is, for me, the most important is the field observation. We have observed in the West Sumatra, MSTZ, and East Sumatra have a very similar geometry, like the stereogram of Deng have already presented. The foliation always dipping to the southwest. And the kinematic always have a top to the northeast shearing. This is the observation. And another is in the south D1 prime. This is just in the Walla group have a top to the southwest sharing. It is difficult to unite these two things together. So because at the beginning, all the people side the Voila group was a nape. It is an intra-oceanic arc thrust on the West Sumatra. I think the interpretation it is better to because of the age of the Rubidium-strontium, and it is better to connect these two things together. So this is the reason I interpreted all the deformation in the land, not except the Walla is belong to the when the Voila nape located on the southwest margin of the Sumatra, and then to make all the deformation, and because the deformation in the Voila is quite special, is independent. So this is meaning it should be earlier than the D1. This is the reason I think this is D0. Before it is positioning, it is already deformed. So this is the reason they can rise in the even in the how to say they can rise even after the thrust deformation. The thrust deformation just concentrated at the northern at the boundary between the Voila and the West Sumatra, and this is region they belong to the same deformation, but the southwest sharing is independent. It is I think it is earlier. Privately, I prefer think there is a subduction and make at the upper, because I think it is the continental arc, and during the Voila is part of the continental arc, and during this subduction there is a thrust. Of course, thrust is to the southwest, and have happened, and then after this thrust, and they just all the Voila unit or Voila group back thrust on the Sumatra island, and this all make the D1 deformation. So this is the reason I think this is D0 and D1. I prefer this interpretation. Is more easy for me and much logic than D prime. It should be later, but I cannot exclude this possibility. I think I speak so long. Perhaps it's difficult to catch what's the meaning. Okay.
The other question.
Yeah.
The second one, please.
System.
It is difficult. Personally, I don't think so. But I don't know Langsa have the age of the deformation.
I'm not
That's
sure about that.
So
No idea.
yeah, even before I think this thrust MSTZ is late Triassic, but all this put together, I think the logically is during the Voila location or located at the upper part of the West Sumatra. But Langsa, I don't know the age. So perhaps they belong to, but personally, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Prof. Lin. Mr. Ade, is it enough for you? I mean, the
Yes.
answer is.
Thank you very much, Prof. Lin, for the explanation.
Okay, thank you. We move to the next question. Before we will invite the Mr. Awang Satya to ask the question directly. So from Mr. Nur Hidayat, is Sumatra a classic example of a mature oblique convergent margin or a transitional system that is still evolving?
It's for me or for Monk?
I don't know. So
I
yeah,
think it's
Meng.
for Monk because
Okay.
it's Sumatra classic example of nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. And could you please open my presentation?
The PPT.
Yeah, PPT. Yeah, and about three of next. Yeah, this one. I think in the
Classic example.
Many thanks for your question. And I think in this map we can see this is the recent direction of the India plate, and we can see from the Andaman to Sumatra to Java, the direction, the subduction direction is changed from the Andaman Sea. It is the subduction direction is nearly parallel to the subduction zone. And in Sumatra area, it is oblique to the subduction zone. And in the Java area, the subduction direction is nearly vertical to the overriding plate. So this is a recent phenomenon. So I think in the Sumatra area, for recent it is metro oblique subduction system. But our mainly focused on the older older events, and we would like to through our work to talk about when this system becomes the oblique subduction system, and because we know the oceanic cannot record this thing, so we need to find some geologic evidence in its overriding plate. So we focus the Sumatra and would like to find some evidence related to the oblique subduction related to the oblique subduction related to geological history. I think this is my answer. Thank you very much for your question.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mer, for your answer. So I think it's enough for Mr. Nur. So now we are moving to Pak Awang. You can ask directly, please.
Okay, thank you for insightful presentation. I have the questions first to Professor Wei and to you, Mr. Yu, and then the second to Dr. Meng. The first question is, if your research invented that the MSTZ or Medial Sumatra Tectonic Zone is not a strike slip, like mentioned by the previous publication, but zone of thrusting because of the emplacements of Woyla terrain. I would like to ask about the implications for tectonic reconstruction for the West Sumatra block. West Sumatra block, based on previous publications, was part of the Indochina terrain that detached in the Triassic and then emplaced to the west of the Sumatra in late Triassic time through the strike slip zone. Yeah. The last presentation from Mr. Ye mentions that maybe the MSTZ zone is thrusting zone because something a nape of the Woyla in the tertiary. The question is, this is contrary to the evolutions of the West Sumatra block that, according to the previous publications, since late Triassic been emplaced to the west of Sumatra. because of the strike slip fault. Is it possible that actually we have the strike slip zone in the depth, but then reactivated by thrusting zone like a nape because of the or overprinted tectonically by emplacement of the woyla. So at surface you observe many kinetic or structural grain related to the thrusting, but actually in depth, if you use geophysical data, it is still related to the strike slip fault, as mentioned by previous researchers. That is my first question. Please answer first before I go to the second questions. Sorry, your voice is off.
Okay, thank you very much for your excellent question. It's really the problem for me when I'm working at the Sumatra. And yes, you are right. Because the West Sumatra is really affinity to the Indochina. It is belong to the delta of the Cardassia. And the northeast Sumatra is belong to the cold water, like Kawana. It's really like this. And because by working at the structure geology and analyze the tactile deformation, geometry, and the kinematic, like I have presented. Okay, thank you. Like I have presented, the geometry is really comparable, and the kinematic also. I have not so many geochronal result of the deformation, but it gave the late Cretaceous is quite comparable with the barber coincided the Woyla located in on the West Sumatra. So this is the reason I connect these two things together. And this because the geometry and the deformation, they belong to the key how to say dynamic same force of the deformation. So this is the reason I think they even the at least the during the deformation, they belong to the same block. And then along the MSTJ, is really I didn't observe the strict sleep. If it is strict sleep more than 1,700 kilometers strict sleep, I have already visited, for example, Ailoshan Red River Fault, at the East China, the Tanlu Fault, Arkintak Fault. The strict sleep fault is quite significant in the field. Even have changed by the later tectonic events, but when you visit here, you will immediately recognize this strict sleep. But this is not the case of the MSTZ in Sumatra. I have worked with Jan from the Aceh, just at the north of the Big Camparo. I never found the strict sleep deformation. Of course, except the Cenozoic or Quaternary. But the tactile deformation, I never found it. The first, and then the lineation. The direction of the lineation is perpendicular the direction of the MSTZ. So interpreted the strict sleep fault is unlikely. And the third, that you concern the paleontology, the warm water, the cold water. In fact, Professor Shang she had worked in this area. In fact, the cold water and the hot water delta not belong to the same time. It's not like a Hutchison side, they belong to the same time. No, they belong to the different time. At the same time, the Sumatra is quite long, quite large. Is almost 2,000 from northwest to southeast, almost 2,000 kilometer. Because we have no paleomark data, if we like terrain, if we rotated during the during the late Paleozoic, it's meaning the Sumatra direction of the Sumatra is almost north-south. If it is north-south at the Zambia area, they belong to the warm water and in the RG. So even in the Hutchinson's paper, they call it North Sumatra. They never cite East and West Sumatra. They didn't use this word. They used the North Sumatra. So the North Sumatra have a cold water delta is quite normal. Yeah. So this is the reason I cannot deny the work of the Metcalfe and Hutchinson. But from the view of the paleoclimate, we can interpret this problem. And another is digital zigon. The digital zigon, like I have showed, they didn't have a significant difference with the East and the West Sumatra. Even I have put the age from the 40 to 400 million years to 200 million years in detail. They didn't show quite different these two blocks. So from the view of the digital zigon, to separate the two blocks is quite unlikely. I cannot find another interpretation. Of course, I need more data to slow or to take this problem into my consideration. I don't know this answer is fit for you, or just this is just the primer work. We just work at the 2 years. With 2 years, can say I'm right, they are wrong. It's impossible. Yeah, I just decide we perhaps we have another way to consider the structure claim of the Sumatra Island. Thank you again for your comments.
Yeah, sorry, Prof. So do you believe that West Sumatra block is part of the details of the Indochina terrain, and they emplaced since the beginning by trusting to the Sibumasu?
Pardon?
Yeah. So do you believe that West Sumatra was part of Indochina and emplaced to Sibumasu since the beginning by trusting?
No. So for me, the West Sumatra is most similar with the West Burma.
West Burma, okay.
West Myanmar is better.
Myanmar, okay.
West Myanmar.
Okay, Western Myanmar.
Yeah, it is similar with the South Tibet block. If we connect Sumatra, West Myanmar, sorry, and South Lhasa block together, this is belong to the Gondwana before the Neothetis opened.
Okay, hopefully, Prof.
Indochina block, the Indochina block have separated. The Gondwana is about 380 million years. This is quite after. It's 270, 280. The symbol is basalt of the Punjab in India.
Okay, thank you, Prof. My second question is go to Dr. Mang. You mentioned that the origins of melons in IAS is by mud volcano. So I remember that Barber also observed the presence of the melangs in Timor, Eastern Indonesia, by mechanisms of mud volcano. And I also ever observed because I went to the Timor and then related to many deep water deposits. But the sedimentary and tectonic setting is different between Nias and Timor. In Timor, because there were sedimentary sections that come from the Australian, we have many deep water deposits in Mesozoic that provide the mechanism by which mud volcanisms can occur. But in Nias, I didn't find any condition for deep water deposits that will trigger the mud volcano for bringing melangs formation by mud volcanisms. Is it possible that and also not so much in Timor, the extent of the melang? So the question is it possible that melangs in Nias is because of usual mechanisms by plate convergence? I mean, by scraping off the oceanic crust in the subduction zone, so not by mud volcanism. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Please pardon your question. Scarred. You mean scarred the blocks from overriding plate?
Yeah, I mean the formations of melang in Nias, not by mud volcanism, but by plate convergence, by scraping off the base of the oceanic crust. Not sedimentary melang. I mean not sedimentary melang, by tectonic melangs.
Yeah.
Not diaperic.
Not diaperic melangs. Yeah.
Okay. Many thanks for your question. For me, I also, because now I didn't know the blocks. The formation of the blocks is a geological setting, because you can see the gabbro and the mafic blocks, the age are older than the melange. The block is Cretaceous and the matrix is about 50 MA. So I think immediately I also think it's have possible to tectonic melange when the subduction it will scary or shared some parts of the overriding plate and make them into the subduction row. I also think about this model, but the story is not complete, so I not talk about it. And thank you very much for your suggestion. I can think about this model, tectonic melange. Many thanks.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Wang. Thank you, Pak Iwan and Pak Zain.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Wang, for the question. So now we are moving to the next question from YouTube, from Muhammad Saiful Fuad. So how the aim and purposes of tectonic mitigation in West Indonesia archipelago as the tectonic significance to improve disaster conclusion in West Ring of Fire West Tethys tectonic domain. You got the question? I think so. Okay. You can read the, sorry.
This is very good question. It looks like I didn't concentrate on this problem, the disaster, the how to say, the fair, how the aim of the proposed tectonic mitigation investors. I don't know what's meaning of his question.
I mean, related to disaster.
Yeah, disaster. Yeah.
How related to tectonic and disaster?
With disaster, the earthquake, the volcanic landslide.
I observed in
Yeah.
Something
Okay, thank you very much for your comment, for your question, for your comments. Because I'm concentrated on the tectile deformation, the disaster always in the brittle domain. But even this, I think because of the subduction, there are so many volcano, and this is given the higher part of the landscape, and this will make the landslide. So the disaster is, for my understanding, is depending on whether they have a human being live there. For example, there is a big earthquake in Karakorum in North Tibet, because there is no habitat there. So this disaster meaning nothing. But in Sumatra is another problem. You have so many population there, and we must take care about it. So in China, we have a very detailed work for the disaster. It is meaning to guide the scale of the 1 to 1,000 scale. And this you can find how the landslide developing. Even in Japan, they have a very 3-dimension TPS to verify the landslide. Of course, if Sumatra government have money to make the detail, is quite useful. Even in the field, when we go to some place, we will find some extension, how to say, extension, 那个缝怎么说？什么？当裂隙。tension gas. We can find the tension gas at the higher part in the soil, and this should be quite dangerous. So I think perhaps the structure is useful, but we need more detail than what we have work on tectonic. Okay, thank you for your question.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Lin, for the answer. I hope it can answer the question from Mr. Muhammad Saiful Fuad. Okay, we have another question. Prof. Hananto, you can just open your mic and you can ask directly.
Okay,
and
thank
then
you.
we'll move to Pak Cahyo. Prof. Hananto, please.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Moderator. I would like to know, because of the different tectonic setting between Sumatra and Java. Sumatra, we have the oblique subduction. And
Mungkin bisa dibesarin suaranya, Pak, sedikit, Pak. Punten.
Okay. Is it clear now? My voice?
Okay, Pak. Okay, Pak.
Okay, yeah. There are tectonic setting difference between Sumatra and Java. Sumatra, we have the oblique subduction, and Java, we have frontal. That's the subduction occur perpendicular to the movement of the Indian Ocean plate. Yeah. And in West Sumatra, we found many islands. Yeah, islands that that's the surface appearance of the Acrasianic complex. But in Java, we cannot find these islands. Is it related to the difference of the tectonic setting between Java and Sumatra? Thank you.
Oh, Prof. Hananto sudah ya? Bisa diulang, Prof? Sorry.
Yeah, in West Sumatra, we can find something like Mentawai, and in the north is similar. That's the area of the Tectonic complex. Yeah, and I think it's related to the oblak subduction of Sumatra. But in South Java, we cannot find that kind of islands. The Tectonic complex is not appear in the surface. Is it related to the difference of the tectonic setting between the both of islands? Thank you.
So I think Dr. Meng, I think. Yeah.
Many thanks for your question, but I didn't know how to answer. Maybe if possible, maybe related to the oblique subduction and the because in my mind, in the Sumatra Island, it is the oblique system, but in the Java Island, it is vertical. Near the subduction direction of the India plate is nearly vertical to the subduction zone. So during the oblique subduction, it may form some stress slip faulting and like the pore part basin or some extension formed that means the oblique subduction pull the Nias and Simlo Island from the main island, and in Java it may be the vertical subduction, and in my mind it may form the because I never visit Java Island, and it may form some thrusting and no such condition to pull some part from the mainland. It's just my thinking. It's not it may not right, but it is only my thinking. Thank you for your question.
I think for the next field trip, I think better compare between Java and Sumatra. So you will have idea what cause of the difference between the suboblique and frontal subduction. Thank you, Pak Zain. Terima kasih.
Yeah. Thank you, Prof. Hananto.
Thank you for your
Prof. Lin want to add some. Yeah. Okay. Please, Prof. Lin, you can add some. Great.
For Professor, I think Dr. Mo have already signed in the Java, we have the subdirection and subduction is also false. Is meaning direction, right? So there is no strict speed. Like Mo have already presented in this answer, so many, and they have positive flow structure. This is related of the strict speed flow. This is quite different. This is oblique subduction and also false subduction make the surface different. This is what I'm understanding. Just the previous read the paper and the field observation. I don't know the answer is suitable. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Lin, for your additional comment. So, Prof. Hananto, I think
Okay,
you
thank you.
answer your question, right?
Thank you.
Okay, so now you move to the next question. Prof. Pak Cahyo.
Okay, thank you. I have questions to Dr. Meng. Yeah. Thank you. First of all, your presentation has give us the insightful and meaningful about the Sumatra, the west part of Sumatra, and particularly about the Nias Sumeru. And my question is, when we would like to compare about the Andaman Basin on the northmost the area, have you idea what's the tectonic control of the Andaman Basin? And then how about the submarine volcano distribution? This is impact to the distribution of submarine volcano on the Andaman Basin. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. I think you want to know the open of Andaman Sea.
Yes.
I have a presentation. I have a slide. Hello. And please slide to last. Final. I think okay. And last. No. Next. I say hello, Professor.
Yes.
I say okay. In fact, I have some regional compression, such as the opening of the Andaman Sea. There are several papers cite the opening of the East Andaman Basin is about 15 MA, and the Central Basin opened at 4 MA. And recently, I think this paper is 2025. They also find some mafic volcanic rocks at 10 MA. So we think this only the regional compression. They have the nearly same age or associated our observed the positive flower structure related strike slip. So we think maybe the Andaman Sea opened is related to the oblique subduction. Okay, this is only my thinking.
So yeah, with the other hand, you would to say this is same control or same mechanism that impact to West Sumatra and the Andaman Basin.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, like a pole part basin during the strike slip faulting. Just thinking. Okay.
And what about the age? You agree about the from 4 and to 15 million animals?
I think it's about 15 to 5. 15 to 5.
No, I mean according your research about on
10 to 5.
Oh,
10 to 5.
Small younger.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Pachayop, for your question. So now we are moved to the next question. From Mr. Dipo. Actually, he has two questions. The first one is, if the MSTZ was formed during the amalgamation of the Woyla NEP to Sumatra, can the same conclusion be drawn for the MSTZ located in the center part of the Sumatra as interpreted by Barber and Cho?
I believe the Barber and the Cross have a very excited work on MSTZ. And
along this along this high-grade metamorphic zone, we find the also organized with the garnet. So I think this is intensive deformation zone also, even it is not related with strict slip. From the view of the field, it's correct. The work of the barber and Chrome is excellent. Our recognize is based on their mapping on their field work. Just the geometry and the interpretation have a little different.
Okay, thank you for the answer. And the second one is, how might the chronology of MSTZ formation be positioned within the broader tectonic evolution of Sumatra, especially in relation to the later activation of the Great Sumatran Fault?
Yes, I think it is quite different. Along the Great Sumatra Fault, we never find the tactile deformation. What we have found is brittle one. Is texture, right? It's texture, like Mintawi is texture. And then if the MSTZ is like Barbarous and Cross, that is Sinestra, is quite different. And chronological work of MSTZ as more as we can. But first, we must understand that what's meaning of MSTZ. I have for me the MSTZ for me and for Barber have a little different. For me is northeast direct thrust belt. For him is the strict slip fault. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Lin, for your answer. So I hope the answer can answer the question from Mr. Dipo Wigono. So now we are moved to the next question addressed to Dr. Meng. Sam, the Mr. Nur Hidayat still curious about that. How do the Sumatran fork sliver move as a rigid block or undergo internal deformation?
Let me see.
就是那个弧前置的那个断裂是斜向突出的，然后是一个 rigid 的，那个不知道，那个地球应该不是，
它是有一个那个说法。Hello, many thanks for your question, and please take my PPT slides. And I think, and I think I didn't know. Please more next. Maybe I delete that slide. And I think the Sumatra fork is related to the earthquake. In my mind, there are before the between the trench and the Sumatra fault, there is a block, a rigid block. There is a little earthquake and correlate the Sumatra fork silver block. I think this is recent classification related to the earthquake, and our work shows 10 to 5 MA related to the Mentawai fault. and it's also expressed in the Sumatra fault, and up one before. And this one, and this one is work from to do some geochronological fault. They also get some ages around the 10 MA. So we think if our model is right, when the obliques not on Sumatra, sleep deformation between them is not exist a rigid block. It's my answer. Thank you very much for your question.
So thank you, Dr. Meng, for your question. I hope it can answer the question from Mr. Oh, okay. We still have question from Pak Purnama, please.
Okay, thank you for your time. My name is Purnama. Yeah. Actually, I already asked last year about the granite along the medial Sumatra tectonic zone. I hope you already get the answer after doing the field trip. However, in this presentation, you didn't mention about the granite, yeah, just gneiss. My question still about the granite along the medial tectonic zone. There is a 30 granite, maybe Sijunjung until the Sibolga. In our journal, we wrote there are 8 type granite, and the age is Triassic age. Based on the literature, we didn't analyze by ourselves. I hope you and your team in field get the samples or not. I don't know. Can analyze the age, because so I hope you can answer that granite, because you put the granite along the MSTZ, okay? And still remind the question about is the MSTZ is the paleotetisuture or ancient structure fault? So what you prefer about that? About the granite, you put the granite along what is your opinion about that granite lah?
We just got the center, the end of the factory. So we just even the cross section, I didn't get all the sample of the section.
Okay.
So I just what I'm is not sense, or just what I'm feeling. Because it is just on the MSTZ, we find the garnite, the felsic gneiss with the garnite.
Okay.
So perhaps there's some migmatization. Just one point with dry in the near the river, we find looks like migmatite. Perhaps there some migmatization.
Okay.
And here I have just 2 sample dating of this
looks like migmatite. They given 350 million years.
300.
This is the reason in the MSTZ, there's a small peak of 300, not so small,
300.
significant peak of 350 million years. So from view of the geometry, I think it is same form. It is like a symmetric same form. And the MSTZ is in the northern part curved out. And just before I discussed with Evan, and the southern part, perhaps we can put it in the macaque complex. The macaque complex have some feldsic rock with garnet also. I read some in the legend of the map. They show like this. So if it is true, and they belong to the same form geometry, and its meaning the basement of the West Sumatra, not only the Fan Africa thermal event, it also have some thermal event, perhaps with migmatization or granulite facies metamorphism during 350 million years. But I don't understand very well what's meaning of this age. But this is not only these two samples, but also the Tectonic have West Sumatra have this age. Even the peak is so small, they have this age. But the Eastern Sumatra know this age. But it's not meaning Eastern Sumatra know this high temperature metamorphism. So for me, it is because I think East and West belong to the same block, and during 350 at the lower part of the West Sumatra or to outer Sumatra have afforded a migmatization of granulite facies or high amphibolite facies. And then during the Walla position located, and they make the antiform of the West Sumatra, and make us can observe this rock, this high facies metamorphic rock. It's not meaning the metamorphism is the late Cretaceous. I prefer it is perhaps 350 million years. Otherwise, I cannot understand why there is a peak just in West Sumatra. In the East Sumatra, there isn't.
Okay, thank you.
We discussed
Yeah.
in the field with Zhang, but perhaps this is quite. I make the structure or metamorphism of the Sumatra quite complex.
Yeah.
In fact, we can forget this deformation and the metamorphism is separated. Metamorphism 350 million years with the reason unknown, and make it is curve out of the surface. It is the deformation D1.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Lin. Dr. Purnama will get you back for more question maybe. Okay, that's all from presentation and discussions. Okay, Prof. Sang, maybe you want to add something in from the view of paleontology. You want maybe you want to add some comments or discussion?
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Michelle, sure. Yes, yeah, sure.
Yes, it's my pleasure to have research on Sumatra, and I also did some paleontological work in Sumatra and collect not so much, but different fossils, and especially had working on the paleogeographical data of to make a collection and a comparison with the Paleozoic fossils from West Sumatra to China, and to want to make the make sure the affinity of the West Sumatra with the Indochina, and to support our team's conclusion. It's there are no there are no West Sumatra and East Sumatra separate blocks. So that's to got the paleontological support for the conclusion for the with the tectonic analysis. That's my main work. Yeah.
I think that's all from presentation and discussion. Special speakers, Prof. Lin Wei, Dr. Meng, and Mr. Deng Ye, and Prof. Sang. We are waiting for your update. Actually, we will meet again you maybe next year or somewhere. Okay, so thank you very much for the speaker. Thank you very much for the audience. So now I give the microphone to the Miss Norvia.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad Zain, as our moderator. And thank you to all speakers, Professor Lin Wei, PhD, Dr. Meng Ling Thong, and Mr. Deng Yi from Institute of Geology and Geophysics, Chinese Academy and Sciences for the informative presentation. And ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the next session, which is the token of appreciation from the Research Center for Geological Resources BRIN. Of gratitude to today's meaningful collaboration and discussion. May we kindly invite Professor Lin Wei, PhD, to receive the token of appreciation from the head of Research Center for Geological Resources BRIN. Di sana aja, Pak. Di sana.
Thank you very much. It's very beautiful. Thank you.
Please give a warm round of applause. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the end of. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to all speakers for your valuable contribution and participation. We hope this event provides meaningful insight and strengthens future scientific collaboration in geological and tectonic research. Thank you for your participation. Have a pleasant day and see you at the next event. Good afternoon and goodbye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Terima kasih Mbak Pia ya.
Kita akan
Teman-teman
foto dulu.
panitia, terima kasih. Mas Aryo, Mas Danang, Mas Indah.
Kita akan foto dulu, Pak,
Yuk, di
di
mana sebentar?
luar. We will take a picture.
Yang di Zoom bisa keluar kan ya? Terima kasih untuk teman-teman yang hadir di ruangan Zoom. Semoga bermanfaat. Sehat selalu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Gimana nih?